Mayor, go.
Thank you so much for joining us for the October 4th, 2021 Mooresville Redevelopment Commission meeting. If we could stand for our Pledge of Allegiance in a short. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening asking that you give your blessings on this meeting, that this commission may make the right decisions that will affect the people of this town. We ask that your guidance always be with us and that you would bless and keep us in all that we do. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. Members have had a chance to look over both the executive session from September 2nd and our regular session minutes. I'll entertain a motion to accept, amend, or deny.
I'll make a motion that we approve the executive session minutes from September 2nd, 2021.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next regular session.
I would make the motion that we approve the minutes from the regular session.
I have a motion to approve the minutes from a regular session. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Commissioner Culp, for joining us.
I apologize.
I'm sure you're thrilled to be here. Next, financial report. Chelsea.
Here it is.
There it be.
I will note that our guest was standing outside the locked door down there.
Ooh.
Because that door was still
locked?
Yes.
You received the report from the clerk treasurer. I'm going to go unlock the door.
Okay.
She wanted that.
Yeah.
That one was propped open. Yeah.
By chance, is there any questions for Chelsea when she returns? If not, then let's proceed forward. Hearing no questions, I have a motion to accept the financial report.
I'll make a motion we accept the financial report as presented.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? I have a second from Commissioner Heidenreich. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Old business, Mooresville Business Center update, shell building update. Chelsea?
If you have driven down there, you'll see that the glass framing has started. It began on the 23rd of September. You would have noticed that Redevelopment is building the walls above the storefront corners themselves, and that they will have an EFIS system installed. I've been out there, I guess it was Thursday, and it is looking good. The earthwork has been done, the grading's been done. We had it bush hogged. You can see where the glass is going to be. So we are getting there. As of 9/24, Redevelopment reported that the asphalt base and seating installers were lined up after the grading is done. So we're close. We're so close to that glass being there. I know it's been a really long process, but we are close. In addition to the shell building update, I have before you a proposal from Banning Engineering in the amount of $4,500. It is for an ALTA survey. ALTA stands for the American Land Title Association survey, And that is something, as we're trying to sell the Shell building, any closing documents are going to request a copy of an updated Alta survey. We had an Alta survey, but it's outdated. The Shell building wasn't on it. None of the infrastructure was on it with Merriman Road and all the utilities. So I would ask for your approval of the quote from Banning Engineering in the amount of $4,500 for completion of the Alta survey.
Any questions for Chelsea on the Alta survey performed by Banning? Hearing none, entertain a motion to accept or deny this proposal.
I'll make a motion to accept.
I have a motion to accept. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Is that it on the Shell building?
That is, thank you.
High Street, State Road 42 update.
I do not have an update on High Street, State Road 42 today.
Well, that's lackluster.
I know. I want to keep it on there because there have been things some months, but some
Yes.
months there's just not a report to provide, so I apologize.
All right, next, project, or future project list. We discussed this the last couple of meetings. And now that we have a larger majority, where are we at on creating this fine, wonderful piece of? Is this in there?
Yes.
I did miss it.
So I did go ahead and put together a proposed project list from the comments that you all made at our previous meeting, as well as potential timelines and supporting notes. This is in no particular order, although I did try to group them by things that were similar to each other. So I'm happy to answer any questions anyone may have, especially as it pertains to the timelines or the notes portion. The proposed project was taken directly from the comments that you all made at the last meeting.
So are these for 2022? Or can we start these now?
Well, we're in the 2022 building cycle.
Yeah.
I think ultimately it would be my goal that this commission would decide what our future project lists are, that we kind of prioritize these, what things are we going to make an immediate priority, what are we going to move to the back burner. And I'm happy to go through this list item by item, line item by line item, if that would be of assistance. Especially as it, I mean, obviously you guys came up with the projects, but as far as any notes or the timelines are concerned, I thought it was important to note timelines, and Attorney Sturwald can jump in here if he would like, but you know, some of these projects, again, the Shell building is a great example that we're currently doing. I first pitched that to the Mooresville Redevelopment Commission in 2014. And we're going to be completed in October, hopefully, of 2021. So these things take a lot of time, and some things take more time than others. So when we're talking about spending money, in large amounts of money, it's important to consider how long it takes, construction seasons. I know I'd mentioned a few months ago, you know, the the Main Street project is on the list. You know, I would not want it all to rush that and be under construction at the same time that High Street's under construction, for example. I don't even think that's a realistic timeline, even if you decided to pull the trigger on that today. But those are the things that I just wanted you guys all to be able to think about and think through, because there's only so much money, right? There's a long list of projects which would far out I'm struggling with words today. Thank you. The funds that we have. So again, you know, prioritizing what we want to do in the immediate future.
I guess my trouble in prioritizing this list is exactly what you're mentioning there, is what will outstrip our funds. 'Cause I mean, I don't have a realistic idea in my mind of what these projects cost versus what our income is and what we have to spend. I mean, I don't have a good grasp of how the two meet in the middle.
I would say a lot of it depends on scope. Update street lighting. I mean, is that along one street, two streets, all streets? I mean, the cost, obviously vary depending on what you're looking to do. I mean, shell building, service shell building. I mean, well, Chelsea brought it up in 2014. We probably got started in earnest in 2018 or so? Maybe the end of 2018,
Yeah.
beginning 2.5, 3 years. Well, that has a higher dollar tag to it. I mean, the money becomes due once we really sell the shell building, so it's probably actually has a high dollar tag to it, but it's probably even cheaper than a lot of the other projects like street lighting, because you don't sell street lighting later to make up the cost. A lot of it is, the trail parks, connecting parks along the creek. Again, I mean, on scope, and then, do we need land? Is land available? Is the town gonna have to acquire it, or, how are we gonna get it? I think the part of what I remember from the discussion of all the project lists, some of it was sort of more themed based, to where, we wanted to consider and undertake projects that were within certain, like walkability, like prioritize projects that were make increased walkability, without like a specific targeted path from one area to the next.
Yeah, I guess I kind of see these things breaking down into three categories. We've got, shell buildings that's kind of economic development, and we've got housing kind of development in there, and then we have, I don't know what you call it, quality of life development, with the walkability and things like that, parks and things. So I guess it kind of goes with his statement about the cost. I mean, would it be too much to start one of each?
And again, I think it depends on which one of each you want to start, because again, another shell building, like for example, if we were to do, it just depends on timing, it depends on land, but we're in a BOT, build, operate, transfer agreement, or the terms of our shell building, where it's 3 years interest only period. That's not that much money for 3 years. But if you want to pick the pedestrian bridge over State Road 67, that's going to cost a lot of money. Yeah. So I think it just depends on, would it be helpful if before the next meeting, if I kind of regrouped these into those subcategories, and maybe we had some flip charts?
I think my other problem is, yes, we have all spent time talking to people in the town, trying to figure out, picking the brains of our friends and et cetera. I still have this worry that the ones we pick may not be what the town wants.
Yeah.
And I get you can pick apart things to death and get too much public input, but I'm not sure if we've had enough yet.
I'm thinking out loud on the fly, which is all a very dangerous thing. Okay, so what if I kind of reprioritize these under the three categories that Commissioner Heidenreich has identified? What if we invited the public to attend, either an open house or even if it was just our next meeting? I had some flip charts and some stickers of prioritizing, everybody that walks in gets 3 stickers, and you're gonna put, green is your first priority, red is your second priority, yellow is your third priority. I'm
I'm just laughing because every meeting we have, Peter's gonna pick our next.
I know.
Would it be possible to also not only break them down in the categories? I know we can't really estimate, but could we put like this is a high sticker price, this is medium
I
sticker
could,
price, this is low sticker price?
Can you ballpark guess?
I
Yeah,
think
a cost.
maybe, I'm thinking of Disney, which Commissioner Stanley will enjoy. If you're going to a restaurant at Disney, if you're making reservations, it has a dollar sign. If it's a cheaper restaurant, there's $2 signs. If it's a little bit more, and if it's the high end, there's $3+ signs. So maybe some way like that to generically let everyone know kind of where it lands. I think we could do something like that.
Can we get this list down to where it's more manageable? If we submit this to, say, I'm gonna use the political Joe the plumber, he's gonna look at, maybe a dog park and be like, well, I don't have a dog, so why should I do that? And I don't walk, so I don't need that, and I don't like the building, so I don't need that, so I'm left with this over here. Can we kind of group these, condense them down a little bit?
Well, maybe it's just in the 3 subgroups.
Okay.
Like there's only basically 3 flip charts, and we're asking, or maybe we just ask people to pick one from each category. Like what would you prioritize from each category? I'm trying to help brainstorm here.
Yeah.
I also have SurveyMonkey subscription
Okay.
and would be happy to put together a survey if we think there would be merit in doing that.
And to your point about, yes, they are all open meetings, but unless we put out to the public that there's something out of the ordinary going on, hey, we're asking for this, for your input, they may not show up even if we do put that out there, but I think you're more likely to get people if we put that type of message out.
Yeah, it's just, maybe I'm being cynical because I've been here probably, too long and seen many commissions and councils and, it's, unless somebody directly, like I text all my friends and say, hey, show up because I don't like this kind of thing, which has been a trend for years and years, then.
Well, which one of these is the worst? And we'll put that out there and make sure that that's the one they see. They'll all show up.
You're gonna be in trouble.
Yes.
You're gonna be in trouble.
Get people stirred up. No, joking aside, that I like that thought and idea of that type of flip chart and people get a
Yeah,
chance
I
to
do
kind of
too.
look at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about a survey? Some people,
I think it's a good thing we can do. I mean, we can send it out to the Chamber of Commerce. We can send it out to a couple different groups that we know will disseminate it.
Or on social media. But we do also have to
Don't do it today.
understand that there may be people that would, maybe they don't live here, that would, it's a little more open. But, okay. Do we want to find a date for a public, or do we just want to invite the public to our next meeting and really try to market and make a splash to that? Hold a completely
Can we
separate
do-
event?
So, I'm gonna be open-minded here. Can we do both? Can we have an open house? And say our final decision will be announced at our next meeting,
At our next meeting.
while simultaneously running a survey?
I don't know if you want to say final decision.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know that we'll have
Our priority list is going to be,
provided.
our priority list based on the input we have received
Yes,
will be
considered.
revealed. I mean,
I can get to work on a survey immediately.
Okay.
We want to look for a date for an open house?
And, if we're gonna shoot for.
Whose house is this at? Which one of you are hosting it at your house?
Probably not mine,
Sure, we could hold it downstairs.
I'm pretty sure.
Pool party.
But we can
Barnes and
either,
Thornburg's Catering, I heard.
Yeah, lawyers aren't known for their cooking skills.
We want to look at the week of the 25th?
yeah. If we can't have it here, we can have it at the library for a weekend.
Monday, the 25th, Wednesday, the 27th.
I think I'm good.
I'm good with either of those dates, yeah.
How about we shoot for Wednesday, the 27th?
That
I
works.
feel like Mondays are hard for people.
Middle of the week.
Wednesday, the 27th of October.
Yes.
Okay.
From.
At what time?
We'll just have it at 6.
6.
To 7.
Yeah.
6 to 7.
I can't wait for Dr. Moore to be standing next to a little flip chart, like, Vanna White.
Did I hear my name?
I just wanted to include you, sir.
I was taking one of my naps. What did you say? I want to say this, I'll say it now instead of waiting till the end. I think that if you do an open house and a survey, then you're certainly covering your bases, whether very many participate or not. It's much better than trying to make a list of stakeholders and leaving someone out. So just throw it open, see what you get, and then you can be back to, all right, what did they say and what do we want to do as the commission? Because you have the final decision as commissioners.
That works.
Is there someone who would like to volunteer to assist me with the survey? And by assist, I mean tell me what they think after I do it. Not much time or. I mean, if you completely trust me, I'll just do it and go, but.
I'm happy to. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Brian.
The last time you and I did that, we ended up editing each other's stuff over and over again, so.
There's no saying that won't happen for me too.
And that's okay. That's absolutely fine. Okay.
Alrighty. Exciting stuff. New business, we have no new business. Legal update.
I sent around an electronic copy to each of you, but we have a hard copy to hand out tonight for our updated 2021 handbook. Here's a copy for you. Next meeting, there'll be a test.
All joking aside, I really do appreciate that you guys do this.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I reference it more than I'm proud to probably say that I do, so thank you for always taking the time.
Our pleasure.
Are there any particular changes, or is it?
No massive updates. A few tweaks here and there, and then some of the updates on electronic meetings, I think, was added. The technical changes to the June 15th report. Some housing materials might have been added on housing TIF, or residential TIF, sorry. I think that's about it. Well, you'll notice our cover photo.
Did you notice?
I noticed that.
Hill building.
See, we're making a big difference. We made the cover, now we know we're real.
Too bad it wasn't a little further along.
Yeah.
You got to see the development. I
There
mean,
you go.
Anything
good.
else? Managerial update?
We've had a lot of action on the shell building this month, so I spent a lot of time with our brokers and attorneys, as well as Banning Engineering, discussing the shell building and needs associated with that. Nothing to report at this time, but we are moving in the right direction. As I noted earlier, it was bush hogged, and I think it looks so much better down there. I'm happy to answer any questions anyone may have.
Any questions for Chelsea? Hearing none, review of claims.
I would make a motion that we accept the claims in the amount of $24,684.97.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. For the good of the, oh, sorry.
Sorry, I'm gonna be annoying. In the very back of the claims, there was a note. And I apologize. We received an invoice from Banning Engineering after the docket was printed for $1,771, and that was for the completion of the Indiana Street project scope that the commission agreed to pay. So Tammy in the clerk's office left me a note that said that she received this after the docket was completed. If it's okay with the Redevelopment Commission, I will print and mail the check tomorrow. But then the claim will be on the November docket. So that $1,771 was not reflected on this docket. So if you would be okay with approving that, I think I would ask that you do that separately. Are you good with that, Attorney Sherwood?
Yes.
I would make a motion that we accept the $1,771 amount for Banning's scope.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Motion passes. For the November.
Now, when it happens, when in November, will that be taken out?
No, so it will essentially be added to the November docket, but you have already approved the actual payment. So funds will be released, but you'll approve it, basically you'll approve it again in November.
Anything else, Chelsea?
Sorry, no.
For the good of the order, Dr. Moore?
Thank you, Commissioner Poe, and the other commissioners for your concern and consideration of public, offering the input to the public. I think that's important. Don't know how much we'll get, but I think it's an important step. I think people know that you guys are open to input, seek input. That's a key. And whatever you decide from then on will be much better received, I believe. So thank you for that. And also, thank you, Commissioner Stanley. Fine meeting. Good job.
You're welcome, sir. Commissioner Heinrich, is there a way to fire you? Just curiosity. Commissioner Heinrich?
I have nothing tonight.
Commissioner Culp?
I apologize for my tardiness. I had client issues.
Hey, money is money.
Otherwise, I know I have nothing to add.
Vice President Perry?
I do have something. I circulated a thing I typed up because I wanted to read it into the record. It was brought to my attention that there might be some that are confused about the Indiana Street Project Committee and the request for an endorsement letter from the RDC. Therefore, in the spirit of transparency and clarification, I offer the following. The Indiana Street Ditch Project Committee met August 26, 2021, and it was recommended by Banning Engineering that our chances of securing funds from the MPO would be more likely of being successful if we submitted an application for a project of lesser cost, a scope that was not too large or complicated or expensive. It was also suggested by Banning Engineering that the project meet several MPO funding requirements and would render a higher score. That project is the one for Monroe and Carlisle Street, and I've attached a diagram before, which was not previously provided to the RDC. The earlier diagram provided to RDC members on September 2nd was that of Indiana Street only. The Monroe and Carlisle Street diagram had not yet been provided to the Indiana Street Committee for review. The Indiana Street Project Committee was provided the conceptual drawing on September 30th via email. On September 16, 2021, Banning Engineering presented the Mooresville Town Council a copy of the concept of the Monroe and Carlisle Street diagram with the following information and explanation: that the project would be a good candidate based on the following. The recent traffic study focused on this intersection and provided key data needed for the application. This project scope is not too large, complicated, or expensive, and the project meets several MPO funding requirements and would render a high score. And then Banning also presented at the same time to the Town Council on September 16th the following estimates for that project. Therefore, based on the recommendation from Banning Engineering, the Indiana Street Project Committee voted to apply for the project that would provide the funds needed for the Carlisle and Monroe Street project. The endorsement letter requested at our last meeting, according to the minutes, was for the Indiana Street project. Although that is our main goal and still is, the committee decided to go for the project as recommended by Banning Engineering. This should be considered phase one of the Indiana Street Project Committee, in my opinion, since it is still being considered by the same committee as the Indiana Street Project is. Therefore, we will need another consensus to provide a letter of endorsement for the Carlisle and Monroe Street project so there is no confusion in the future. So if I can get a consensus for the Monroe Carlisle Street project this evening, then I think that will clear up any misgivings about what our intentions are.
Yeah, I'm good with that, yeah. Both projects need done.
Yeah.
They're part of the same scope.
Yeah, I would agree. We have a consensus?
Yeah, Banning said in their email that it was considered two separate projects. I am much more supportive of Carlisle and Monroe.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what they came up with, so, okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you. I have nothing. Our next meeting is November 4th, 2021. Right here, 6 o'clock. We need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to we adjourn.
Thank you, Ryan. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you so much. We are adjourned.
Things to sign.
I voted to it.
I appreciate that. I saw